I think we should get into cryptocurrency, and I just want to start off by saying, what do you think about like the crypto boom? To start off, yeah, let's go from there.
Yeah, the crypto boom. Well, it's been in progress for a long time. It's become popular in the mainstream culture. That's definitely a boom, and trading volumes have boomed. But the price has been booming for a long time. Let's keep in mind that Bitcoin cost less than a penny in 2009. So
Oh yeah,
when it first started. So it was, even when it got to $1, that was a boom in itself, if you think about it. And then to $10, then 100, then 1,000. There have been a number of booms. It's been booming. It's just that it was under the radar because the banks hadn't believed in it yet. The mainstream media hadn't picked up on it yet. Most people weren't aware of it until a few years ago. Uh, Probably 2017 was when a lot of people became aware of it because it shot up to 20,000. But the problem is when yeah, I'm sure you and many of the people in your audience know the saying that when your cab driver is recommending stocks to you, that's probably the time to get out, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah. So nowadays, it's not the cab driver; it's the Uber driver,
yeah.
and it's not necessarily stocks anymore. It could be cryptocurrencies. I'm not telling people to necessarily sell or not buy cryptocurrencies, but when everybody's talking about it, that's not the time to usually buy something. The time is when something has value, but people are not talking about it, or better yet, people hate it. Uh, I love to buy assets where I know there's a mismatch between the intrinsic value of the asset and the sentiment in the market. When market sentiment is pessimistic on something, I think it's great. Most people don't think that way, but that's why most retail traders, 90% of them lose money in the long term. And so I don't want to do what most people do. I want to be a contrarian, which takes training and discipline and kind of a reprogramming of your mind to do that for a lot of people. I think guys like Warren Buffett just had an unusual wiring of their brains from birth, where they were contrarians from the very beginning. Probably, I don't know that for sure, but some people I think are just wired that way to do the opposite of what the crowds are doing, which is great. It may not be great for all situations in life because you're going to stand out and you're not going to be loved all the time. But for investing, it's really great to be able to see those diamonds in the rough that other people either are ignoring or despising. That's when I get in. But you're going to buy, and it's probably going to go down more after it already went down quite a bit, let's say. Um, but that's okay. Yeah, you got to train yourself to not care when that happens. If you can do that, then you'll be in probably a very good position.
I think you brought up an interesting point because, but there's also, I feel like a difference between going against the grain and also just like complete crazy, which is something that
Hmm.
nobody should ever do. And I think if you're like trying to think outside the box, uh, isn't it sometimes that you're so outside the box that you're basically just losing your money?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be aware of sentiment. Um, the old saying, the old Benjamin Graham saying, is that in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine, meaning it's based on sentiment.
Yeah.
And then in the long term, the stock market is a weighing machine, meaning that the actual value or weight of the company's fundamentals and financials comes into play in the long term. So, yeah, if you're too far ahead of your time, then you're going to probably be at a loss on your positions for a while, but that's okay. I'm not trying to time the market necessarily. There's another old saying. I got a lot of old sayings, right?
Yeah.
It's time in the markets, not timing the markets. And so I'm not trying to time it. I'm just going to get started with a position, scale in. If there's a definite well, nothing's definite, but if there's at least on my end a perceived mismatch between the intrinsic value of a company or other asset and the way it's being priced in the markets, So, for example, gold right now, I do think gold is undervalued. Gold is getting beaten up. Inflation is increasing. We have a rising inflation environment because of all the money printing that's going on, stimulus funding and all that, infrastructure spending. And so trillions of dollars being spent. The dollar is deteriorating and will continue to deteriorate as long as they keep on printing money. And I don't expect the government to stop doing that. And it doesn't matter who the president is. This is not a political statement. I mean, all presidents, from when I was born, spent money hand over fist. They printed up dollars and spent them. And so that means that gold should go up. Gold tends to go up in rising inflation environments, but it hasn't yet. Well, good. Okay, I'm seeing a mismatch there. Sometimes there is a delayed reaction. Again, the stock market or the markets generally are a weighing machine long term, not short term. So right now, if the short term sentiment on gold is pessimistic, but I'm seeing that all this government money printing should continue to devalue the dollar, which is a tailwind for gold. I'm seeing that mismatch there, and I'm going to get in slowly and not expect short-term gains, but stay in the trade for the long term. And it might not even take that long. It could be weeks before there's upside in the investment, or it could be months, could be years. I don't know. But I'm confident when I've done the research that it will work out in the long term, and it consistently has, at least for me.
So I like your argument on gold, but speaking about going against the grain a bit, what do you think about Dogecoin?
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting one. It's hard to measure the value of a coin that was started as a joke.
Exactly.
And I'm not making that up. It actually was. It was a meme
Yeah.
coin. Um, and I don't see people using it to buy things so much. I don't see banks getting into it. I don't see people sending money overseas using Dogecoin too much. Whereas they are with Bitcoin and sometimes Ethereum, maybe Ripple. So I don't see a ton of use cases yet. Could change in the future for Dogecoin. What I see is it's going up because Elon Musk is tweeting about it. On April Fool's Day, he sent out a kind of a joke tweet. At least I think it was a joke. I don't know what's going on in his
Hopefully,
mind
yeah.
exactly, but and who knows, right? But on April 1st, he sent out a tweet saying he's going to put a Dogecoin on the moon. He's the SpaceX founder. And so
Yeah.
there's kind of a maybe half joking, half not. I don't know. Who knows? You can't put a coin on the moon. It's a digital asset. It doesn't have a physical location. So I think he was joking. And yet on that,
Hopefully it
when he,
was.
yeah, but when he tweeted that, Dogecoin went up a lot immediately. And so, and then Wall Street bets, the subreddit, the GameStop
Yeah.
crew, they're the same people who probably shot GameStop up to the moon. Also took Dogecoin up. And again, I don't see it being used for transactional or purchasing purposes so much lately. It's mostly just speculation. So I'm going to make a lot of Dogecoin fans irate, probably by saying that. I'm not making a lot of friends right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm saying just be aware. Know what you own. Once again, be aware that it's not based on fundamentals or financials or use cases. It's mostly based on uh, just I hate to call it a pump, but that seems to be the appropriate word in this case. Pumps by tweets. I mean, when a 30-second tweet can move asset prices like that, you got to wonder whether that's sustainable. Just my opinion, as always.